I was the safety net, the backup plan, the emergency fund with a pulse. For 6 years, I'd been more than just Emily Thompson, medical sales rep in Phoenix. I was the reason my sister Nina's mortgage got approved. The reason Mom's car wasn't repossessed during her between jobs phase. The reason my nephew's private school tuition cleared every semester. My name was on Nina's mortgage as a co-signer. I'd guaranteed her business loan when she started her boutique. Every month, $1,200 left my account automatically for Mom's living expenses. I didn't mind being the responsible one. I was proud of it, actually. Someone had to be. I earned it. 60-hour weeks, climbing from entry-level to senior account manager. My territory covered 3 states. I drove 18,000 miles last year alone, closing deals in hospital boardrooms and surgical centers. While Nina posted aesthetic photos of her boutique's seasonal displays on Instagram, I was negotiating 6-figure contracts for surgical equipment. The difference was, I never posted about it. I just did the work. When I bought my first house last month, a modest 3-bedroom in Tempe with a view of the mountains, I was genuinely excited to share it with my family. 29 years old, finally a homeowner. No co-signers, no help, just my own credit and down payment I'd saved for 3 years. I planned a small housewarming dinner, just family. Mom, Nina, her husband Derek, and my nephew Brandon, who is 12 now. I wanted it to feel warm, personal. I spent the entire Saturday cooking my grandmother's lasagna recipe, homemade focaccia, a strawberry shortcake from scratch because I remembered it was Brandon's favorite. The house was spotless. I'd hung string lights on the back patio, set the table with the nice dishes I'd bought specifically for this, even printed little place cards because Nina always said those kinds of touches mattered. They arrived an hour late. Traffic was insane, Nina said, breezing past me in a cloud of perfume. She didn't apologize, just headed straight for the living room. "Oh, Emily, the walls are so beige. You should have called me. I could have helped you pick better colors." "I like the beige," I said, closing the door behind Derek and Brandon. "It's calming." "It's boring," she corrected, running her finger along my bookshelf like she was checking for dust. "But I guess that's very you." Mom kissed my cheek but barely glanced around. "Where's the bathroom? I need to fix my makeup." Brandon made a beeline for my couch and pulled out his phone. He didn't look up when I said hello. I should have noticed it then. The lack of congratulations. The absence of any acknowledgement that this was supposed to be a celebration. But I was too busy trying to be the perfect hostess, pulling the lasagna from the oven, pouring wine, pretending everything was fine. We sat down to eat. I'd put Brandon at the head of the table as a little gesture. Kids love feeling important. Nina was on my right, Mom on my left, Derek across from me. "So," I started, trying to inject some enthusiasm into the room. "I know it's not much, but I'm really proud of this place. It took forever to save for the down payment, and I was starting to think I'd never." 20% down? Nina interrupted, reaching for more bread. "Or did you do one of those risky low down payment loans?" 20%, I said quietly. I wanted to avoid PMI. "Smart," Derek said. And for a second, I felt grateful someone was being nice. Then Nina laughed. "Well, at least Emily's good for something. Money management. Not style, not spontaneity, not fun. But hey, you can balance a checkbook." Mom smiled. Not a kind smile. A smile that said she agreed. I gripped my fork. "I'm sorry if my life choices aren't entertaining enough for you." "Don't be sensitive," Nina said, waving her hand dismissively. "I'm kidding. You know I'm kidding. You're just so easy to tease because you take everything so seriously." Brandon snorted, still on his phone. "Brandon? Phone away at the table," I said gently. He looked at me like I'd asked him to cut off his arm. "Why?" "Because we're eating dinner together." "This isn't even my house," he said flatly. "I don't have to follow your rules." Nina didn't correct him. She just cut another piece of lasagna and said nothing. The dinner continued like that. Small digs, casual dismissiveness, this underlying current that I was somehow performing being an adult incorrectly. When I brought out the strawberry shortcake, I placed the first slice in front of Brandon. "Your aunt made this special for you," I said, trying to sound warm. "I remember you loved strawberries." He looked at the plate with pure disgust. "I'm allergic to strawberries now. Have been for like 2 years. "Oh." My stomach dropped. "I didn't know one told me. Maybe if you paid attention to your family instead of just paying their bills, You'd know, Nina said sweetly. She reached over and pulled Brandon's plate away. Good thing I brought backup cupcakes in the car. Brandon, go get them. He left without a word. I sat there, staring at the cake I'd spent 2 hours making. Nina, I said carefully, that was really harsh. Was it? She looked genuinely puzzled. I'm just stating facts. You work constantly. You barely show up for family things. When's the last time you came to Brandon's soccer games? I was closing the Street Joseph's deal. I told you that. I've been working on that account for 8 months. See? She turned to Mom. Work, work, work. That's all she cares about. Mom patted Nina's hand. Some people are just more career-focused. It's not personal, honey. It was personal. It was all personal. But I bit my tongue because that's what I always did. Swallow the hurt, keep the peace, be the bigger person. Brandon came back with a box of grocery store cupcakes. Nina made a big show of opening them, pulling one out, peeling the wrapper. Here, baby, she cooed, handing it to him. A real dessert. He took a huge bite, smearing frosting on his face. Then he looked at my strawberry cake still sitting in the center of the table and, I don't know, something in his 12-year-old brain decided it would be funny. He reached over, grabbed the entire cake stand, and tilted it. The cake slid off, crashed onto my new hardwood floors. Strawberries and cream exploded across the wood I just had refinished. For a moment, nobody moved. Then Brandon laughed. Oops. Not an apologetic oops. A gleeful one. Brandon! I stood up, staring at the mess. Nina was laughing too. Actual laughing. Oh my God. Brandon, you're so clumsy. I'm not clumsy, he said, grinning at her. Then he looked at me with this expression I'll never forget, pure calculated meanness. Maybe you should eat it off the floor. Seems about your level, Aunt Emily. Down in the dirt where you belong. The room went completely silent. Then Derek chuckled. Just a small sound, but I heard it. Nina was trying not to smile. Trying and failing. Mom looked at me expectantly, like I was the one who needed to fix this moment. Brandon, I said slowly, my voice shaking. Do you understand what you just said to me? He's 12, Nina said immediately. Defensive. It was a joke. It wasn't a joke. Oh, lighten up. You're going to make him feel bad over an accident. He just told me I belong in the dirt. And you're being dramatic. Nina stood up, brushing imaginary crumbs from her designer jeans. This is exactly why we don't come around more. You make everything into a federal case. He's a kid. He dropped your cake. Get over it. He didn't drop it. He threw it. Emily. Mom's voice was sharp. Warning. That's enough. That's enough? I repeated, incredulous. He deliberately destroyed something I made, insulted me in my own home. And I'm the problem? You're making your nephew cry, Nina hissed. Even though Brandon was very much not crying, he was smirking behind his mother. I think you all should leave, I said quietly. The room temperature dropped 10 degrees. Excuse me? Nina's voice went ice cold. I'd like you to leave, now. Are you serious? She looked at Mom, then Derek. Is she serious? Emily, honey, Mom started. Let's all just calm down. I am calm. I'm asking you to leave my home. Nina grabbed her purse so violently her keys clattered on the floor. Fine. Fine. Come on, Brandon. Let's go. Apparently your aunt is too good for us now that she has her fancy little house. They left. All of them. Derek mumbled something that might have been an apology but probably wasn't. Mom gave me this disappointed look like I'd ruined Thanksgiving. The door slammed. I stood in my dining room, alone, staring at the destroyed cake on my beautiful new floors. Strawberries smashed into the grain of the wood, cream seeping into the cracks. I didn't cry. I just got a towel and started cleaning. My phone buzzed around 11 that night. I was in bed, still in my clothes, staring at the ceiling. Family group chat. The one that included me, Nina, Mom, and Dad, though. Dad barely ever checked it since the divorce. Mom, Emily, I've been thinking about what happened tonight, and I need to say something. Your behavior was unacceptable. We came to support you, and you created a hostile environment over a simple accident. Brandon is deeply hurt. Nina is crying. This negativity you're bringing into the family needs to stop. We've all agreed it's best if you take some time away from family functions until you can learn to control your reactions. We love you, but we can't keep walking on eggshells around your sensitivity. I read it 3 times. Nina had liked the message. The little thumbs-up notification sat right there under Mom's words. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. They were cutting ME off? After what happened in my house? I scrolled up through the chat history. Months of messages. Nina asking for money. Mom sending Venmo requests. Me agreeing every time. Of course. No problem. I got you. 6 years of, I got you. And now I was the problem. I was bringing negativity. I needed to learn to control my reactions. I sat there for maybe 20 minutes, just breathing. Then I opened my banking app. The automatic transfer to Mom, $1,200 every month since she temporarily lost her job 4 years ago? Cancelled. The payment notification for Nina's mortgage that I got copied on every month? I opened my email and found the original co-signer agreement. Found the bank's number. It was past business hours, but I sent an email. Subject line, request for co-signer removal. Urgent. Then I went to the business loan. Nina's boutique. The one she'd begged me to co-sign for because banks are so sexist. They won't give me a loan without a co-signer. Please, Emily, you're the only one who believes in me. Another email. Another removal request. I didn't write anything dramatic. I didn't explain. I just stated facts. I am requesting immediate removal as a co-signer on this account. Please contact me to discuss next steps. I scheduled an appointment with the bank for Monday morning, first thing. Then I replied to the family chat. Just 5 words. Emily, understood. I'll give you space. I left the group chat. Blocked Mom's number. Blocked Nina's. Blocked Derek's. Kept Brandon blocked. I'd done that months ago when he kept sending me TikToks at 3 in the morning. Then I took screenshots of everything. Every nasty text. Every Venmo request. Every instance of, can you just, and Emily, would you mind? And it's only temporary. I created a folder on my laptop, named it documentation, saved it all. My friend Jessica, a family law attorney, had told me once, if you ever need to protect yourself from your own family, evidence is everything. Never delete anything. I didn't plan to need it. But I wasn't deleting anything either. Monday morning, I walked into Chase Bank at 8:45. I had an appointment with Margaret Chen, a senior loan officer I'd specifically requested. Miss Thompson, she greeted me, shaking my hand. Your email mentioned you need to discuss co-signer removal on multiple accounts? Yes. I sat down, pulling out printed copies of everything. I'm a co-signer on my sister's mortgage and her business loan. I need my name removed from both. Margaret scanned the documents. Okay. I need to be transparent with you. This isn't a simple process. Your sister would need to refinance or find a replacement co-signer. We can't just remove you without ensuring the loan remains secure. I understand. What are my options? We can send her a formal notice that you're requesting removal. She'd have 30 days to either refinance in her name only or find another co-signer. If she doesn't comply, we'd need to involve legal counsel to determine next steps based on your original co-signer agreement. Do it, I said. Send the notice. Margaret studied my face. Can I ask, is everything okay? This seems sudden. Everything's fine. I just need to separate my finances from my family's. She nodded slowly. I've seen this before. More than you'd think. Give me 2 business days to process the paperwork. You'll receive copies of everything we send to your sister. The business loan was trickier. Nina had used my income to inflate the loan application, not technically fraud, but definitely ethically questionable. Margaret made a note to have their fraud department review it. If there are discrepancies in the original application, she said carefully, your sister may face additional consequences. I understand. I left the bank feeling lighter than I had in years. Tuesday. The automatic transfers failed. Mom's rent check bounced. The notification went to her landlord, not to me. Wednesday, Nina got the formal notice from Chase about the co-signer removal. Thursday morning, my phone, the new number I'd gotten Tuesday afternoon, was still blessedly silent. Thursday afternoon, I got an email from my old number. It had been forwarded by my phone carrier's customer service. Subject, urgent, family emergency. From Nina. Emily, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to stop right now. The bank called me saying you're trying to remove yourself from my mortgage? Are you insane? Do you know what that means? I have 30 days to refinance or they could foreclose. I can't refinance, my income alone doesn't qualify. What are you doing? Call me immediately. I archived it. Didn't respond. Friday morning. 17 emails. A mix from Nina, Mom, even Derek's work email. Mom, Emily Rose Thompson, you answer your phone right now. Your sister is having a panic attack. The bank is threatening her home. How could you do this? Over a cake? You're going to make your nephew homeless over a cake? Nina, I'll apologize, okay? Is that what you want? I'm sorry. We're all sorry. Please just call the bank and tell them it was a mistake. Derek. This is crazy. You're going to ruin us. Nina can't sleep. Brandon keeps asking why Aunt Emily hates him. Just talk to us. I forwarded everything to my documentation folder. Saturday afternoon, a new tactic. Dad sent me a friend request on Facebook. We'd been unfriended during the divorce drama 3 years ago. I denied it. Sunday evening, 2 weeks after my housewarming disaster, I was grocery shopping when I turned down the pasta aisle and nearly ran my cart into Nina's. We both froze. She looked terrible. Hair unwashed, no makeup, eyes red and swollen. Emily, she breathed. Thank God. I've been trying to reach you everywhere. Hi, Nina. I kept my voice neutral, moved my cart to go around her. She blocked me. Wait, please. We need to talk. I don't think we do. The bank is going to foreclose. Do you understand that? Derek and I will lose everything. Brandon's school is private and expensive and never my responsibility to fund. I met her eyes. You have 30 days to refinance. I suggest you use them productively. I can't refinance. You know I can't. My income isn't enough. Then I guess you'll need to find a different house. Or a cosigner who isn't me. Her face crumpled. Real tears this time. How can you be so cold? We're family. Family, I repeated slowly. Family lets their son destroy my property and insult me in my home. Family laughs at me. Family sends me a message telling me I'm too negative and need to stay away, so I'm staying away. You asked for space. I'm giving it to you. We didn't mean. You liked the message, Nina. I saw it. The little thumbs up under Mom's text telling me to distance myself from family functions. She went pale. That was I didn't mean I was just agreeing that everyone needed to cool off. No, you agreed that I was the problem. So I solved the problem. I removed myself. From everything. Emily, please. She was full-on sobbing now, and part of me, the old part, the part that always fixed everything, wanted to comfort her. I'll do anything. I'll make Brandon apologize. I'll talk to Mom. Just please don't let them take my house. Your house was never my responsibility. Your business loan was never my responsibility. Your son's behavior is definitely not my responsibility. You're being vindictive. I'm being done. I pushed past her. She didn't follow. I heard her crying in the pasta aisle as I walked away. And I didn't look back. Monday morning, 3 weeks post-disaster, my phone pinged with a calendar reminder. Coffee with Jess. I'd almost forgotten my friend Jessica, and I met every few weeks to catch up. We met at our usual spot, a little cafe near her law office. She took one look at my face and said, "Oh God, what happened?" I told her everything. The housewarming, the cake, the text, my response. When I finished, she sat back and whistled. Holy shit, you actually did it. Did what? Set a boundary with them. A real one. It doesn't feel like a boundary. It feels like I blew up my entire family. No. Jessica's voice was firm. They blew it up. You just stopped cleaning up the mess. There's a difference. Nina's going to lose her house. Nina's going to have to adult, like the rest of us. Mom called my office. Left a message with my assistant saying there's a family emergency. Is there? Just the one they created. Jessica pulled out her phone. Forward me everything. Every text, email, voicemail. I want to review it. Why? Because I've seen families like yours escalate. If they start harassing your workplace or making threats, you need documentation. Also, she hesitated. If Nina fraudulently inflated her loan application using your income, and if that information was falsified, you could actually be liable if you don't document that you've tried to rectify the situation. My stomach dropped. Liable? Probably not. But better safe than sorry. CYA, cover your ass. Always. I forwarded her everything. That afternoon, I got a text from an unknown number. Unknown. This is Brandon. Mom gave me your new number. She's crying all the time. Dad says we might have to move to a smaller place and I can't go to Street Augustine anymore. Why are you doing this to us? I said I was sorry about the cake. No, he hadn't. Not once. I stared at the message for a long time. This was a kid. A 12-year-old kid who'd been raised by Nina and Derek to think certain behaviors were acceptable. But he was also old enough to know better. And using him as a messenger was a new low. I didn't respond. I blocked the number and sent a screenshot to Jessica with the note. They're using Brandon now. Her response was immediate. Do not engage with the minor. They're trying to manipulate you through him. Stay no contact. 4 weeks after the housewarming, I came home from work to find Mom sitting on my front porch. I almost turned around and drove away. But this was my house. My space. I got out of the car slowly. Mom, you need to leave. Emily, baby. I'm not your baby. And I asked you to leave. She stood up. She looked older somehow. Tired. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. 5 minutes. Against my better judgment, I nodded. But I didn't unlock my door. We stood in the driveway. Your sister is falling apart, Mom started. Good opening, I said dryly. Don't be sarcastic. This is serious. Nina and Derek are talking about bankruptcy. Brandon is devastated. How can you do this to them? I didn't do anything to them. I stopped doing things for them. There's a difference. You're splitting hairs. No, Mom, I'm setting boundaries. Something I should have done years ago. Boundaries. She said it like a dirty word. You sound like one of those therapy people. Maybe I need therapy. After 6 years of being your family's ATM. Her face hardened. Is that what this is about? Money? You're this petty? It's not about the money. It's about the disrespect. The entitlement. Brandon told me I belong in the dirt, and you all laughed. Nina sends me a text saying I'm too negative and need to stay away, and she meant it. So I stayed away. Exactly like you asked. We didn't mean permanently. Then what did you mean? What did we've all agreed it's best if you take some time away from family functions mean? If not that I'm not welcome. Mom's mouth opened and closed. You were so angry, and we thought if everyone cooled off. I wasn't angry. I was hurt. There's a difference. And instead of acknowledging that, instead of making Brandon apologize or Nina take accountability, you blamed me. So I made it easy for you. Now you don't have to deal with my negativity at all. Emily, please. Her voice cracked. I can't afford my rent without your help. I've been looking for work, I swear. But at my age, you're 56, not 90. There are jobs. Not good ones. Not ones that pay enough for rent in Phoenix. Then you'll need to move somewhere cheaper, or find a roommate, or figure it out the way millions of other people do. You're my daughter. And you're my mother. And you stood in my home and watched your grandson humiliate me and did nothing. Actually, worse than nothing. You blamed me for being upset about it. Tears were streaming down her face. Real ones. I made a mistake. We all made mistakes. Can't you forgive us? Maybe eventually. But not now. And not while you're only here because the money stopped. That's not. Mom, I was so tired. If Nina's house wasn't in danger, if your rent had cleared this month, would you be on my porch right now? She didn't answer. That's what I thought. You're not here because you miss me. You're here because you need me. And I'm done being needed in that way. So what? You're just going to abandon us? Let your sister lose everything? Nina's not losing everything. She's losing the lifestyle she couldn't afford without using me. That's not abandonment. That's reality. Mom stood there, crying. And for the first time in my life, I didn't try to fix it. Didn't rush to comfort her. Didn't take back my words to make her feel better. I think you should go now, I said gently. She left, got in her car and drove away. I went inside, locked my door, and sat on my couch in the quiet house I'd bought with my own money, my own credit, my own work. And I didn't feel guilty. 6 weeks after the housewarming, the bank called. Margaret Chen. Miss Thompson, I wanted to update you. Your sister submitted a refinancing application but was denied. She has 2 weeks remaining to find a solution, or the property will enter pre-foreclosure proceedings. Okay. She's also requested a meeting with you to discuss options. I'm not obligated to facilitate that, but I wanted to inform you of the request. Tell her no. I'm not meeting with her. Understood. I also wanted to mention our fraud department reviewed the business loan application. There were discrepancies. Your income was listed as household income on her application, which technically isn't fraud if you were living together at the time, but you weren't. We're pursuing recovery options for that loan. Meaning? Meaning your sister may face legal consequences for misrepresentation. I wanted you to be aware. I thanked her and hung up. Part of me felt sick. Legal consequences. Foreclosure. This was real. But another part of me, the part that had been screaming for 6 years and never been heard, felt validated. They hadn't just taken my money. They'd exploited it, misrepresented it, used it without permission, and then mocked me for giving it. 2 months after the housewarming, Jessica called me with an update. Your mom's been trying to reach you through mutual friends. I know. Mrs. Patterson from church called me yesterday. I didn't answer. Good. Also, heads up, your sister filed for bankruptcy last week. She's surrendering the house and the business. My breath caught. Oh God. Emily. Jess's voice was gentle. This is not your fault. Her son is going to lose his home. Her son is going to learn that actions have consequences, that you can't treat people like garbage and expect them to fund your life. That's not a bad lesson. I feel like a monster. You're not. You're just done being their victim. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Brandon packing boxes, Nina crying, Mom scrambling. Around midnight, I got up and opened my laptop. Looked at my bank account. I could afford to help them. Easily. One payment, one bailout, I could fix everything. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Unknown. I hope you're happy. We're homeless because of you. Brandon cries every night. Nina had a breakdown and is on medication. Mom might have a stroke from stress. But sure, you enjoy your little house and your perfect life. You're dead to us. Don't ever contact us again. The message was from Derek. I read it 3 times. Then I took a screenshot, added it to my documentation folder, blocked the number, and closed my laptop. I wasn't the one who made Nina take out loans she couldn't afford. I wasn't the one who let Brandon grow into an entitled bully. I wasn't the one who chose cruelty over kindness at my own daughter's celebration. I was just the one who stopped paying for it. 3 months post-disaster, I got a promotion. Regional director. $37,000 raise. Company car. Full benefits expansion. I celebrated by taking myself to dinner at the nicest restaurant in Scottsdale. Sat at the bar, ordered the tasting menu, drank excellent wine. The bartender was chatty. Celebrating something? Promotion. Congratulations! That's fantastic. Is your family joining you? I smiled. No, it's just me tonight. Even better, he grinned. You get all the good food to yourself. When I got home, there was an envelope taped to my door. No address, no stamp, hand-delivered. Inside was a card. On the front, I'm sorry. I opened it. Emily, I know you won't respond, but I need to say this. You were right. About everything. Brandon's behavior was unacceptable. Mom's text was cruel. I laughed at you in your own home, and that was wrong. I've been in therapy, court-mandated from the bankruptcy, and I'm realizing how much I used you, how much I took advantage of your kindness, how much I resented you for being successful while treating you like a bank. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't even expect a response. I just needed you to know that I see it now. I see what we did to you. I'm sorry, Nina. I read it twice. Put it back in the envelope. Set it on my kitchen counter. It was a good apology, probably genuine, but it didn't change anything. They were sorry because they faced consequences, not because they recognized the hurt in the moment. Sorry because the money stopped, not because the relationship mattered. The next morning, I filed the card in my documentation folder and went to work. 4 months later, I was thriving. New position, new routine, new gym membership. I'd started dating someone, a cardiovascular surgeon I met through work. He was kind, respectful, interested in my life beyond what I could provide. I hadn't heard from my family in 6 weeks. Then my phone rang, the main line at work. My assistant transferred it before I could screen. Emily Thompson. Emily, it's Dad. I almost hung up. But Dad had been neutral in all of this. Absent, but neutral. Hi, Dad. I heard about your promotion. Congratulations. Thank you. Silence. Is there something you need? I asked. No, I wanted to say I'm sorry. For not standing up for you. For letting your mother and Nina treat you the way they did. I told myself I was staying out of it, but that was cowardice. You deserved better. Tears pricked my eyes. Yeah, I did. Are you happy? The question surprised me. Yes, actually, I am. Good. That's all I wanted to know. He hung up. I sat there, phone in hand, crying for the first time since this whole thing started. Not sad tears. Relief tears. Someone saw it. Someone acknowledged it. And that was enough. 6 months after the housewarming that ended everything, I hosted another dinner party. Different guest list this time. Jessica and her wife. 2 colleagues from work. My boyfriend Connor. His sister. We ate on my patio under the string lights. I made lasagna again, my grandmother's recipe, and everyone said it was delicious. Someone asked if I had siblings, and I paused, fork halfway to my mouth. It's complicated, I said finally. Connor squeezed my hand under the table. I have a sister, I clarified. We're not in contact anymore. I'm sorry, the colleague said. That must be hard. Sometimes, I admitted. But I'm okay. And I was. I really was. After everyone left, Connor helped me clean up. We were loading the dishwasher when he said, "You know what I noticed tonight?" "What?" "You smiled the entire time. Like, genuinely smiled. I don't think I've ever seen you that relaxed." I thought about that. I think. I didn't realize how much stress I was carrying. How much I was trying to manage everyone else's happiness while ignoring my own. He kissed my forehead. "Well, I like this version of you. The one who puts herself first." That night, lying in bed, I got one final message. From Mom. "Mom, saw your promotion announcement on LinkedIn. Congratulations. I won't bother you. Just wanted to say I'm proud of you. Even if I didn't show it the right way." I stared at it for a long time. Then I typed, "Thank you." Just that, nothing more. I wasn't ready for reconciliation. Maybe I never would be. But I was ready to stop carrying their weight. I was ready to stop being the emergency fund, the backup plan, the safety net. I was ready to just be Emily. And Emily was doing just fine.